In this video, I show you why I chose DOF Reality for my motion simulator, and probably why you'll end up choosing DOF Reality for yours. Here we go, in-depth comparison and a total look at the majority of motion simulators available on the market. And here we are, but before we get going, let's take a quick look at Everything Sim Racing's channel. You can see there that we're a little late on those subscribers. You want to give a little subscription help out, put a lot of love into these videos, definitely appreciate it. So as you may know, may not know, we just released the DOF Reality P3 full review just recently, and I did say in the video that I would do some kind of comparison, and I figured while I had all of these favorites, I would just kind of tab them all. We'll just go through them. Now, our goal here is not to put down any one company. We're just going to compare what I have to basically everything else and why I chose the DOF Reality over some of the other competitors. And you know, it's not our fault. All we're doing here is just looking at what they've provided and kind of looking and speculating at what they have. You know, some of these probably are a lot better than the DOF Reality, but they're probably a lot more expensive, so you get what you pay for. We're looking at low cost versus what you get. So we're going to look at the whole thing. So here we go. First thing before we start, I want to just kind of go over the fact that a lot of these prices are going to be in euros. We can convert, you know, a few of them, but I want you to understand that $2,500, which is what the DOF Reality P3 sells for, is 2,179 euros. Now keep that in mind. It's in the 2,000-ish euros to get the P3. So let's start. First guy on my list here is this Phase Tech. So they sell the Racing Cube, and you can see that it's from 58.74, so it's almost 3 times the price of the DOF Reality. Does look interesting. Let's watch a quick video. Why not? Let's get on with it. Ooh, I like the up and down. Interesting. Doesn't look extremely quick, but it's definitely pretty cool. So I guess it doesn't spin around in circles? Looks like it would. It's definitely very impressive looking, but wow, let's read more. 5,800 bucks. What's in the box? Basically nothing. Ouch. So it's basically like the bare bones model for 8 grand. I mean, whew. Let's move on. Very, very unique though. Next up is Modem Simulation. Now, they don't seem, let's see the video gallery. We're in that already. Okay, nothing really. We can pick this, which tells us it's an elite level 6-action motion simulator. Ooh. Has a whole bunch of cool stuff here. And I guess you can get tech specs, but you can't buy it. You gotta contact them. Looks expensive as well. So we're gonna move on. Now this is Atomic Motion Systems. So let's say, well, we're in America, so we're gonna take us to Talon Simulations, I guess, to purchase this. So I don't know what this is. This is their home screen, I guess. Yeah. So let's go products. Ooh, $32,000 for this entire package. So we know this is definitely going to be not the cheapest thing here. All right. So that's your products. That's all we got. What is this? I thought we could buy it here. It does say where to buy. So let's try clicking here. There we go. Now I can actually purchase it. Only got one in stock, and look at that price just for the seats. Whew. So it's got quite a bit of motion. Not really sure what these wheels are for. Maybe if you're trying to move it around. I guess you could store it. Well, it does, you know, see that it does store. Kind of folds up. I'd like to see you do that with my pedals on there. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. But for that price, you know, you're talking, let's see what that costs. Oh, let's paste that in there. Oh, $8,500 for the Atomic Racing. Yeah, no, we're not going to do that. So let's move on. All right, so moving on away from Atomic Motion Systems here. Oh, we come up with Sim Experience, one of the OG, the original gangsters of sim racing. And you can even see, you can go on to YouTube here, and you can see that this video is from 5 years ago. This one's from 4 years ago. So they've been doing this for quite a while, and honestly really haven't updated any of their products. They're kind of still rocking the same designs, and they're just really starting to show their age. You can clearly see that this is just a seat mover that vibrates, or I'm sorry, not vibrates, rotates and, you know, moves around. But you can see these actuators here are basically just pushing the seat up and down. So when it ends up sitting, you know, when you end up sitting in it, all this is moving while all of this is stationary, and it just kind of feels weird. And we just call that a, you know, butt mover. So it's really just 2 DOF, 2 degrees of freedom. So this kit here looks like it includes the traction loss, which is nice. They are one of the first, if not the first, to bring traction loss to, you know, a motion rig, a commercially available motion rig. And then we have the stage 4 here, which has like a whole bunch of sheeting all around it, I guess, to make it feel more like a cockpit, but still the same overall design. So I mean, this is a 3 DOF system that you're paying, $5,499 for. I don't even see the stage 5 kit for sale anymore. But I mean, even the cheapest one's $21.99. That's just this. So you see where we're coming now when I say that the, you know, the DOF Reality definitely comes in at a good price. Let's check out their video. So just see it. I saw that stage 5 in the, I saw that in the video, and I don't see it on here at all. Nothing. Oh, there it is. There, the stage 5. So we're gonna look at that in a second. I did find it. So yeah, I liked how it said unrivaled performance or unparalleled motion. Yeah, that was my favorite part. Yeah, I don't know. I guess for the price, it's definitely interesting. Very interesting. So we're going to move on. Before we do, I want to check out what that stage 5. So this is turnkey. It comes with monitors. It comes with all this stuff. The diamond plate flooring. It's really nice looking. It's also $26,000. Yeah. Moving on, shall we? Well, we're not going back to Talon. We're done with them. So here's Acylid. Acylid.co.at. I have no idea. No idea. The website looks really, really simple. So, can we see? I mean, it's all right. We're already looking at it's on request, so it's not in stock. I guess they build them for you. It's 6,799 euros, which is somewhere in the $7,000 range. And woo, it is definitely unique looking. It looks like it has a lot of motion. But how do you get in and out of that thing? It looks complicated. And you got a lot of weight swinging. It's going to take up a ton of space. I mean, and then with the website being like this makes me wonder about this. So we're moving on. Here we are at Gecko Systems. They do motion simulation apparently. You can see this girl sitting in some kind of motion chair. Let's check their products out. Looks like they only sell one product. It looks like a lazy boy. First, motion simulator to provide immediate, strong, sustained forces. So this looks like something that is more of a relaxed type thing. I have seen videos on this, and there's really not that much motion to it, to be honest with you. I don't know if they show any of the videos. Here you go. I mean, it's definitely moving around. It's not a ton of movement. Yeah, it's just not a ton of movement. So let's see, what are we talking about for pricing here? Download, pictures, order, inquiry. So it's 1,672 euros. It's somewhere around 1,500 bucks. I mean, it definitely looks comfortable. It doesn't look like any kind of racing chair to me, but for 1,500 doesn't seem that bad. But it's really, again, just a large seat mover that's going to take up a lot of space. I don't know if all of this is actually necessary. These straps, I mean, even a DOF doesn't throw me out of it, as long as you have some bolstering on the side of the seat. So, learn more about motion simulators. Interesting. We're moving on. All right, here we are. We're at Canising, ENG. Canising. Now, all prices below include a 20% VAT. I think this is, yeah, this is the one that it works with like Xbox and PS4 and all that, which is really cool. Don't get me wrong. A lot of them don't work with any kind of game system. Not that I was going to use it for that because I'm a PC gamer, but that is interesting. But I believe that they use their own patented like program to run the games, and for PC that's going to become a problem because again I don't like proprietary software. I prefer to have something open. So let's see if we can get some pricing here. So this one is $34.84, so that's somewhere in the $4,000 range. So we can get it down a little bit. So yeah, okay, so let's just try to get just the platform here. 2,500 bucks. So the pricing isn't horrible. You can clearly see it's just, you know, it's a 2DOF, but it does look like the entire platform is attached, so it's a full motion 2DOF rather than just being a, you know, a glorified butt shaker. I wonder if there's any videos. Yes, there we go. The monitor mounted to it. It's not a bad looking rig, I gotta say. Kind of impressed with this one. How much was it again? Somewhere in the, yeah, I'd say it's comparative to the pricing of DOFs, but with the proprietary software and the fact that it doesn't have traction loss, I'm gonna move on because I can get all that with the DOF. So again, probably why I didn't pick this company. So we're moving on. Cxc Simulations, very nice looking rig there. Let's check their products out. I hate that. We can't do that. Okay, well that looks crazy. Not the commercial, just the, oh, this is the regular. Interesting. Can't wait to see the price of this. Let's buy it. Buy now. Oh, it's the standard is 52,000, but it goes all the way to 88,000. Next. This is motionsimulation.com. Very interesting. What is that? What in the world? It's like a football helmet. Okay, well, racing simulator. Oh man, look at that thing. It looks like a big helmet. It's from 50,000 euros, or whatever that is. I don't even know what that symbol is. Is that still euro? I don't know. I'm American, sorry. But regardless, that's probably a lot of money. Let's find out. So that would be, there's pounds of sterling. $64,000? There's no way. $64,000 for that. Okay. We're moving on again. So this is a little Kickstarter project here. So who knows when you'd even get this. It's definitely interesting. Feel 3. So if you got a lot of time on your hands, this could be something. Doesn't seem like the video. Oh, there it goes. It's got quite a bit of movement, huh? I mean, it's definitely interesting. I'm curious to know if it has any kind of traction loss. I mean, that thing just kind of spins around. It's definitely interesting. Like I said, I don't know what's the buy-in on this thing. Pledge 1,400 or more. Pledge is not available. Not available. So now you'd have to pay 4,000. No. Moving on. And now we're at simgear.com. Looks like another expensive simulator. Let's see, let's go. Well, I only got one, so let's try to buy it. Let's buy that one. Yes, we want to buy it. We want to buy now. Oh, we got to configure it. Okay, well, we'll take the seat. Oh, we'll take red. We don't need monitors, do we? Sure. Okay, we don't need any of that stuff. We don't need shifters. That's a Fanatic shifter, 1,000 watt, because they're like $200. I don't want any of this stuff. Can we just see what it's going to cost? Oh, I have to submit. Oh, $22,000. Yeah. Next. Cxc Mechanics. Looks like very expensive simulator technology. Motion systems, driving simulators. This is craziness. Yeah, we're going to move on already. This is obviously way beyond the realm of DOF Reality. The Edge 6D from 8,000 euros. So way more money than the DOF. No videos or anything, just more pictures. Looks interesting. Not really sure what they got going on under that plate. Be nice to know. Gallery. There we go. Let's check it out. It's interesting. It's only 35% of the motion. Whew. Interesting, but again, very expensive. So we're moving on. Wow, looks like it's for a space shuttle. We're just gonna keep on going from Rexroth Bosch Company. Oh, could we even buy? I mean, how to buy? How to buy? We have to do all kinds of crazy stuff to buy. Okay. Visaro. I believe these are for DOF. I think it's very similar to like a D-Box. Simulators. Let's look at the modular series. Yeah, it's got the 4 actuated motors. Commercial or home use. Let's go home use. The gamer doesn't, I'm not sure if that has motion. And that looks like it only has in the back. This looks like the first one that has 4 Actual, oh, look at the prices. 15,000 of those things. Pounds sterling, it's literally 20 grand. Where were we? No, we weren't there. We weren't there. We were here. $20,000. So, although it looks amazing, we're probably going to move on. Yeah, I got no videos or nothing, so we're moving on. Now this is the Racing Cube. This was a Kickstarter. I don't know what happened to this or if it's available or what, but I don't see how this could withstand what I was trying to do with it. It's an interesting idea, but you need a big room to do this because the thing's going to keep spinning around in circles. So we're moving on. Another Kickstarter project, the Yaw Motion Simulator. Let's see what this one has to offer. What the hell? Are you kidding me, right? Oh, okay. So we'd have to spend at least $1,340 US. That yeah, I'm hoping that you're with me at home understanding why, but we're going to move on. So this is Elite Us Simulation in Motion. Products, the racing simulator. Okay, well that's I guess where we are. Buy now. Oh, we're starting at $35,000. Wow. Looks pretty serious, but $35,000 it better be. We're moving on again. Now here is like the D-Box. This is a company, R-Seat, that sells the D-Box systems. And you can see what we're spending there. We're talking somewhere around the $16,000 range to get a full D-Box motion sim. And the prices obviously can skyrocket. There's $32,000. It's crazy. It's probably the finest on the market. Probably. I mean, I don't know that much about it, but I mean, this one probably is a little bit better. Looks like an F1 type seat, yeah. I mean, I'm not really sure. I don't have that kind of money to spend, so I didn't do that much research on the D-Box, unfortunately. But it definitely looks amazing. For that price, it better be. Moving on, Simcraft. Motion, oh man, look at this big cage around this thing. Motion simulator, look at this. Wow. Yeah, we're never going to be able to get into one of these for the same price, so it's just not going to happen. Do we have any videos? Demonstration, that's what we want. We want to, no, we don't want that. We want just a video. Nothing? Okay. Alright, we'll move on. We're back to ProSimU. So here we are at ProSimU.com. Before we go into actually looking at ProSimU, which we did go in a little bit on the actual review, the DOF Reality review, I want to just talk about the sim experience, because this was what I found after I finally found the sim experience. Now I looked at the sim experience probably 4 or 5 years ago, and I mean, to me this was the ultimate thing that you could imagine, and it was like a dream that I could someday own it. And then when the time came, 4 or 5 years later, I've had some money, and this was where I first went to. And upon looking at the products that they sell, they really just never upgraded anything. They don't offer any new designs. They just kind of stuck with what they knew, which is a good thing. But it's just it's not enough, unfortunately, for the money. Not when you start looking at the other companies. So that's why, even though this was one of my OGs and one of my original favorites, I ended up really tossing hard between the ProSimU and the DOF Reality. That's where it finally came down to. And I watched, you know, all the reviews available for both, and to be honest, it's very, very few and far between, especially, you know, a year and a half ago when I actually did buy and start looking into buying an actual motion simulator. So I want to really talk about why I didn't buy the ProSimU, besides the fact that it's more money. Now, I probably could have come up with the money if I really wanted it, but this to me was the killer, and this is a credit to John at Racecraft Simulations on YouTube. We're going to click this. This is the actuator noise video. You hear that? I do not think I could have lived with that sound. Now, I mean, I do run my simulator with the volume relatively high, or I do run it with headphones on, and maybe you don't hear it when it's like that. But I just feel like even as loud as I could make my car, I'd still hear them little things doing that, and it would just irritate me to no end. So that was immediately one of my issues. And then I started, you know, saying, all right, well, maybe it's not a big deal, so let's browse their site, because they have a lot of products. So let's start from the bottom and work our way up, because the T1000 is really the one we're going to look at. But this is a simulator 2-pack. This is basically just looks like a seat mover. That's 4,200 euros. This one's 20,000 euros, 50,000 euros, 7,500 euros, 6,000, 12. I mean, so these are all very expensive simulators. And again, I'm sure they're amazing. But we are comparing this to DOF Reality's low-cost motion simulators. Let's move up to the formula. 12 grand, 20 grand, the simulator 2. I mean, that's the price of the DOF right there, and you're just getting that. So you can see that. So then there's the T2, the tweet. So this is basically what we just looked at. It's just a repeat. I don't understand why they do that. PMP, 8,500 or 20,000. So again, here we come to the T1000. Now this is, you know, more or less what DOF kind of does. You can buy, you know, the most simple one. So you could buy, I don't know if you can buy just the non-motion, but I mean, we're talking about motion. So this is the 2 DOF. So you could buy this for 2,000 euros, and then you can upgrade it to traction loss later if you chose to. Now you see you get those little motors, not the big monster motors. Talk about that in a second. So to get the traction loss, it looks like it's another $1,000. So this is the 3 DOF, 3 motion with the small motors, and that's what you get for 3 grand. Now this really, you're done upgrading at this point, because I do not believe that they do a 4 DOF unless it uses the big, and they don't do a 5 DOF either. Nothing uses. See, as soon as you go larger, they start using the gigantic actuators. Upgrade to, so if you already own a 2 motion or 3 motion and you want to have seat sensation, so I think this is the upgrade. So that just like DOF Reality, they also offer an upgrade where you can buy this, and then you can buy the upgrade to this. So you can have it from 2 DOF to 3 DOF. The problem is now you're stuck at 3 DOF for $3,000, and you can't go any further unless you buy these expensive replacement motors. So when you look at the website, it clearly tells you. So they give you the options. So you can either get didactic or ProSimU PRS 200 actuators. So the price for 3,000, you're getting the didactic. Okay. So let's even go without the seat, because with DOF Reality, I like how you can get rid of the seat and save shipping. Okay. So if you go with the didactic, which are the cheaper ones, so it says if your ultimate goal is to have a T1000 5 motion, you can start with a T1000 2 motion with two ProSimu PRS 200 actuators, which is not the ones that are the cheaper, the didactic. Then take the option 3 motion and finally 2 additional actuators in order to obtain a 5 motion. If your goal is to have 3 motion, you can see the difference here. So what they're telling you is if you plan to go 4 DOF or 5 DOF or whatever, that you need to buy the more expensive motors now because these little ones are going to be sitting on a shelf somewhere, sitting and collecting dust. Well, okay then. So let's go take a look at what they recommend actually getting. So they want you to say, so let's just say that I want to go 5 DOF, or even 3. The idea is that we're going to upgrade, because with DOF you can upgrade to 6 DOF if you chose to, which you can't even do with them. They're a limit of 5 DOF. So you can start with 2 PRS 200 actuators. 200, I don't know which one is which. It's kind of confusing. So that changes the price from $3,000 to now 6,400 euros. Okay. Now, if I choose this one, it's 4,900 euros. And if I choose this one, it's almost 8,000 euros. So if we go back to the original, there's that cheap price. Because now, if you plan to race, this is probably, a good pick. It'll definitely work. If you plan to fly, it's probably not going to be as amazing. These don't have as much motion. Like, there's not as much articulation with this rig versus the DOF Reality. So that's going to be a little bit limited, or like space games, it might not feel as amazing. It might be a little bit more responsive because of the actuators versus the motors. You're also going to get that, that motor sound. So let's listen to this one. Windows Movie Maker. They got it up really loud. I mean, it's not bad. It doesn't sound as loud as the larger actuators do. You can clearly see though that the range of motion is definitely limited. So where does that leave you? It's like, to me, I was in a position where it was like, well, if I'm going to do it, I'm not going to limit myself to only having this. I may want to upgrade at some point, maybe not now, but someday. And I don't want to spend 6 or 8 or 9,000 extra dollars to get what I kind of want, and still not have 6 DOF technically. So there was, a multitude of choices I had to make, and some of those things came down to it, as well as, to be honest, their website is kind of a mess. It's not exactly the most well thought out, well put together website. There's a lot of confusion, and that kind of stuff weighs on me because then I start wondering about everything else. So DOF Reality's website was just a little cleaner and a little bit more well put together, and I saw the range of motion and the fact that you could fly or race and have all that motion. It just seemed like the better pick to me. I didn't want to spend $10,000. Just wasn't going to happen. So we're going to leave ProSimu, but again, high marks. I'm sure that people have them, love them, and don't get me wrong. If I could have, their most expensive 5 DOF rig, I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't enjoy the hell out of it or recommend it, but everything has its pros and cons, and you have to look at things logically. And $2,500 sounded a lot better than almost $10,000. So we're going to move on. Now this is probably the most controversial of all of the different motion rigs that are out there. This is the one I get the most emails on, the most questions of, hey, should I buy this one versus the other one, or versus the DOF, or this is the one that comes up a lot in comments of YouTube as well as emails. So the Next Level Racing Motion Platform version 3 is really just a seat mover. That's all it is. It's a butt mover. That's all it really does. Just kicks your butt around, your pedals and your steering wheel and everything stays stationary. And I'm just not a fan of that right from the door. That was something I wanted the entire rig to move at once rather than having it just be a butt mover. That was almost a requirement for me. And I've watched some videos. It definitely looks cool, and I think for the right person, someone who's not as experienced with working on games and setting things up, I think the usability of it is probably a lot easier to run than like the DOF Reality platform using sim tools. But at $3,000, the price tag is just so high. I just, if I was going to spend that kind of money, it was going to be on a full motion rig, and I just couldn't stomach $3,000 for just a simple butt mover. So one nice thing about it is, you can get it Prime on Amazon, and if you don't like it, you could Prime it back. So you could use it for like a month, decide you don't like it, send it back. That's one, benefit to the Next Level Racing. But I mean, I'm sure you're going to love it. It's just, do you love it as much as you would have loved the DOF Reality? To each their own. I mean, it's obviously more mobile. It's just so expensive. $3,000 for a butt shaker. Whew. Let's well, Inside Sim Racing. Love those guys. See, that's like the sim experience. See that? It's kind of got like just kind of kicks your seat around. So you can see that the seat's moving and none of this is moving. And that's just, to me, that's not very realistic. It's just not the way that it would be in real life, because you think about it, if you have to slam on the brakes, you're going to actually be kind of slammed into the steering wheel. And I wouldn't do that in real life. I would have my hands keeping me in the seat. The only way I'm hitting the coming towards the steering wheel is in an accident. So to me, it's a no-go. So $3,000, I couldn't stomach it. And if I was going to spend that kind of money on something, but I needed just kind of what this is, then I would still go DOF Reality, and I'd get the M2. I mean, the M2 is literally $899, and that doesn't include the chassis. And all it is this piece right here. So it's basically, I mean, if you look, they're very similar. Same concept. This one's obviously, it's more than 3 times cheaper, and it uses sim tools. Has two motors, and it does all the same movement. It's got that roll, pitch and roll, so it'll go up and down. It doesn't have any traction loss. A real nice thing about this is it fits like this chassis and many other chassis, including my GT Omega. It'll fit right inside of it, and the GT Omega is like supposedly like a China cloned. See if we can find it on Amazon. Chinese cloned racing chassis. GT Omega. I think I had the art. Maybe I didn't have the art. No. But I think it would fit inside the art as well. GT Omega. Which one did I have? Basically like that. So there's DOF Reality Motion Simulator. Look at that. Alright, I guess I can't find it, but it's very much like the art. And the point is that you can literally just drop this inside, bolt it down, and if you have an existing sim chassis, boom, you're good to go. And the other thing I love about this is if you're like a do-it-yourself kind of guy, I mean, think about what you could do with this. You just drop it in anything that your dreams could create for $900, and you got it. I mean, it's a no-brainer. So let's take a look at the actual DOF Reality site. Okay, so here we are on the DOF Reality website, and you can see it's really nice. I mean, I think it's well done, just like Next Level Racing's is and Sim Experience. You know, a lot of them are pretty good. ProSimu is definitely, I don't think, as user friendly and as nice as well as you know, some of the other ones we looked at. But you know, it's nice because they give you like a straight down. You can just look at every model that they sell right on their homepage. Okay. So, and then you can choose to go to specific ones if you really wanted to, and you can compare them all. So, there's the seat mover that we were talking about for 900 bucks, and if you're just a flight guy, this might be your answer because, you know, you're just getting the motions that you really need. You don't need traction loss to fly, and it's a really cheap way to get in. Now, do realize that this is not upgradable. You know, this is what it is. So, scrolling down, here's the H2. Now this is basically a 2 DOF. Now the H is the economy version. It comes with a cheaper motor than the professional does. I can't say if these are good or bad because I've never used them, but from what I hear and different, you know, around the forums and things, people love them. I just knew that I was going to be putting a ton of weight on top of this thing, really stressing it. So I chose to go with the bigger, beefier motors, knowing that. And you know, the price difference wasn't that big, as we're going to see in a second. So the economy version, this is just a 2 DOF. So there's no traction loss, as you can see. And that's what you get for $1,199. So you get the full motion. The whole thing is going to tilt crazy amounts, just like mine does, for 1,200 bucks. I mean, it's a no-brainer. And then later you can spend 700 and you can upgrade your H2 to H3 to get the traction loss. So 700 bucks. So it ends up being $1,900 total plus shipping, and you have to pay shipping twice. Or you can just go with the H3 right from the door, which is the one that includes traction loss, still the economy motors, and you save 100 bucks by doing that, plus probably a little bit of money in shipping as well. So that's obviously, and you see the box looks like it's a little different than the one that I have. And then you can choose to go from the H3 to the H6 and add 3 more motors and go full 6 DOF. And that would be an extra $1,800 on top of that. And of course you can just go straight to the H6 if you choose to for $3,600. I mean, we just went through all of the motions, and come on, I mean, it's almost cheaper than virtually every single one on there. It's only $600 more than Next Level Racing, and you get this versus that. I mean, I don't know about you. So now this is what I have. I have the professional, the P. So this is the 2-axis. This has no traction loss. You see the motors are a little bigger, a little beefier, a little faster response time, thing like that. And we can upgrade just like before. It's a little more expensive, but not a ton more. I mean, look, we're only talking 1,800 bucks. So it's what, an extra 600. So that one is 1,200, and this one is 1,800. So it's $600 extra to go professional. And then this is the one that I actually have, the P3, which is only 2,500 bucks. Ooh, what happened? I clicked something. So, like I said, I'm in love with this one. This is more than enough, and I'm very satisfied with it. But I could choose to upgrade to the P6 if I chose to for an extra 2,500, or just buy the P6 right from the door for $5,000. Might be nice if, like, you know, they give you a little discount, because 2,500 and 2,500 is $5,000. So maybe like give you a $100 discount if you buy it all at once. And of course, shipping's definitely going to be saved on something monstrous like this. So you get a little comparison chart of everything and how fast, you know, the torque, the peak power, speed, motion ranges. You get all the information. They don't hide any of this stuff here, which is really nice to see. Not afraid of their competition. They really shouldn't be. So let's go up here and just browse. So what's Pro? I think Pro. Okay, so Pro is what I have. We can fly, obviously. So 6 DOF is going to be obviously the ultimate flight experience, but I have a great time flying in to DOF with mine, so I just can't imagine how much better it would be. You can buy, obviously. You can pick what you want to do. They do PayPal. You can get credit if you're a little short on cash. Let's see. Got a nice question and answer area where they answer a bunch of your questions. Feel free to read this before you ask me the same questions. I'm just kidding. You know, I don't mind all of your guys' questions, and you can send them to everythingsimracing@gmail.com. All the games that are supported, and there's even more. This list is always growing because, like I said, this is through SimTools, which is like an open platform, and other people can add to it. So awesome. And reviews, there's gallery section. You know, there's our new review up there already, which is really cool. A couple of our other ones. Really nice to make the website, but you know, hey, it's why I do the videos, to show what we're doing here. And then of course there's, you know, the contact information. You can email them, and it's just a very simple and easy to use website, and I liked it. I mean, it gave me enough information that I needed without a ton of confusion like ProSimU's website. So that's just about all I got. Like I said, definitely make sure that you are realizing that these are just my opinions. You know, I'm no rocket scientist. I'm not a motion simulation expert. I have never used all these awesome simulators that are up here. I just, you know, gave you basically the logic that was in my brain when I was shopping for a motion simulator. And I thought, honestly, that it was out of my reach until I found DOF Reality. They basically make degrees of freedom reality. I mean, I guess that was the idea, but it's true. So with that, I'm going to end the video. You make your own choice. You decide what is best for you. It's your money. You spend it wisely. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. All right? Thanks. I hope you found this useful.